What's up, YouTube? This is MJ's Total Health and Wellness Enrichment, back with another video. Please support the channel by hitting the like and subscribe button, along with the bell icon to be notified when I drop videos. The pay-per-view numbers came in for the Tank and Frank Martin fight, and they were underwhelming. It was reported that the fight sold between 325,000 and 350,000 pay-per-views, which of course is a stark drop-off from Tank's last fight against Ryan Garcia last year when it sold 1.2 million. But what I will say is this: 300 to 350,000 nowadays is almost like the marginal norm for pay-per-view with good fighters. You're not going to see any more Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao selling 1-2 million, Oscar De La Hoya. Those days are done. And I really do think that they really need to re-examine this pay-per-view model. Because what happens is that when you put so many so-called pay-per-view fights that are really network fights on pay-per-view, it turns fans off. You know, and with me specifically, the last 3.5, 4 years, you guys have been putting a lot of fights on pay-per-view. They're not pay-per-view worthy. You know, I go back in time to, I think it was January 1st, 2022, when you guys had Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz on pay-per-view. That's not a pay-per-view fight. You know, a lot of these fights, they're not pay-per-view fights. So after a while, you know, the fans are speaking, and we're tired of paying 70 to 85, 90 bucks for fights that are not pay-per-view worthy. You know, my thing is, if you guys are gonna try to put these fights on pay-per-views, you need to drop the price down, drop the prices, and maybe you'll be able to generate more sales. Because a person's more or less say they'll pay 39 or possibly 45, 50 bucks for a decent card, but then when you start trying to charge people 70 to 90 bucks, no, they're gonna put on the fire stick. So with some of these, if you're gonna put some of these mid fights that really not pay-per-view on pay-per-view, you need to drop the price. Simple as that. But see, you guys are so greedy that you don't think about that. You know, you keep the price at 80, 90 bucks, and this is how you see, this is how these fights sell. But maybe you try dropping the price to 39, 45 bucks. Heck, maybe you might be able to see 400,000 or 500,000 buys. But you know, once again, I attribute it to, they say Tank or Canelo is the face of boxing. No, neither one of you guys are the face of boxing. I think right now there is no face of boxing, and these pay-per-view numbers show that. Because even when Canelo Alvarez fought Jaime Munguia, I think that maybe did 500,000 worldwide. And you remember now, Canelo years ago, you know, would sell, 800,000 to $1 million plus. But even now, Canelo is having difficulty selling. And I say this, in my opinion, when it comes to Canelo, he could sell more if he fought the people that we wanted him to fight. So if Canelo were to fight David Benavidez, you know, we would pay to see that fight. Right now, that is one of the biggest fights that can be made in boxing. You know, I would pay for that. Once again, I paid for the Tank and Frank Martin. You know, I thought it was a solid undercard and with a bunch of competitive fights. So, you know, but then again, it's hard to attract the casual fan. And that's what they're trying to do. Right now, they're trying to attract the casual fans to buy. But what happens is, like I've been saying this many times before, and I think this is a mistake that boxing made when it came to the promoters, networks, and fighters. If you want to attract the casual fan, you have to give them free access to you so that you can build your profile up. That is why in the 70s and 80s, when those boxing stars fought on CBS and ABC, they were able to build their profile in front of millions and millions of casual fans. So once they became known, now they could be properly launched into pay-per-view fights. But you can't fight a bunch of nobodies and then say, okay, you expect people to pay pay-per-view to see you fight. And not only that, but to see you fight another bum on pay-per-view. It doesn't work that way. You know, if the promoters and networks and fighters could be on one accord, you know, these fighters should be fighting on these free networks, and once they build their profile up enough, now you jump into pay-per-view. Simple as that. But see, everybody wants to go from today's mentality is what's that microwave mentality. You want to jump from scrimmage to championship. You don't want to go through the regular season groove and then the playoffs. You want to go straight from the scrimmage to the championship. And to me, that is a formula for failure because nobody knows you. Now, let's say you guys were fighting on ESPN, ABC, CBS, TBS, TNT, and building your profile. Now, after you guys have delivered, you know, let's say you deliver 3, 4, 5 great performances on cable TV, now millions upon millions of casual fans know you. Now you can go to pay-per-view. I think that will help. I used to watch boxing, those Tuesday night fights, Friday night fights, and even when PBC had all those on Spike and all those other channels, but people complained about that. Now look what we got. We're paying to watch everything through apps. We'll see. MJ's Total Health and Wellness Enrichment. Please support the channel by hitting the like and subscribe button along with the bell icon. And please like, and share the videos. Peace.